Guys, just working on actively getting my glutes involved before my workout. Yeah, I started utilizing this exercise quite a bit to go ahead and really get some good hip activation before my workout. And not only that, I'm getting some good lengthening of my hip flexion quad because I'm using that glute to lengthen out and get good solid hip extension. A lot of things I can do out of this position, but mostly we want to just get that single leg hip extension exercise going. Dave Schmitz, ResistanceBandTraining.com, coming to you with a proprioceptive training exercise to get your hip extension going. And we're going to use a small band to go ahead and activate it. You know, a lot of these activation drills work really well with the orange band or the super micro, okay? Either of those bands work well because all you need is the tactile stimulation against your body so that it knows where it needs to compress or where it needs to push, where it needs to pull, and ultimately then you're going to get the muscle activation you're looking for. And the single leg hip extension is a perfect example of that. We're going to go ahead and position me here. Now, the typical hip extension active exercise is here, working on getting good hip extension. The problem is, a lot of people, I don't think, realize how far they need to come up. They also don't realize how aggressive they need to push, especially that last 30 degrees of motion. You know, most people, at least my athletes, they'll get to here, but they won't get that full hip extension. And I don't think they know how to get there. So by putting the band at their hip, letting my hands rest down at my side, notice I put them down so that the band is angled to work on hip extension. So if I put it up here, now the band's going to slide up. So what I do is I take the band, just simply slide it down, hook my thumbs around the band, hook my index finger around the band, hold it there, bring the knee up, and I just work some hip extension, trying to get all the way through. And that last 30 degrees, boy, I really got to push against the band. Now, if you want to make it a strengthening exercise, you just shorten the band up by wrapping it around your hand. Now it's shorter. Now I got to push even more aggressively into the band to get my hip through. So, an active hip extension, adding a band in, not necessarily for more resistance, but to proprioceptively tell your clients and athletes where they need to push to get that hip through. And then most importantly, working that last 20 to 30% of the motion or 20 to 30 degrees of the motion to really make sure they're getting all the way through and getting good hip extension while they're getting good trunk and core activation. Try it out. Let me know what you think. But I would put it in. If you have an active hip extension exercise where you're trying to get some glute activation early in your workout, that's where I would probably put it in. And all you're going to need is just a simple micro band or super micro band to go ahead and do it.